Right, let's take a look at the 7 singles concepts. These are the 7 single concepts which I learnt my time at Tennismith. The first concept is red, yellow, green. So the red zone stretches from about 8 feet inside the baseline all the way back to the back fence. The yellow zone is from that 8-foot mark to about halfway between the net and the service line. And then the green zone is from that point halfway between the service line and the net forward. Alright, so the red zone, just like a traffic light. Red, I wait. Yellow, proceed with caution. And then green is go. So when you're in the red zone, you're just waiting. You're waiting for your opponent to do one of 3 things. Waiting for him to miss, hit short, or change direction of the ball. Alright, so you're just going to rally from the red zone. The yellow zone, you proceed with caution. That's when you hit approach shots, transition shots to the net. The green zone is where you volley from, you look to finish and close off the point. Alright, the second concept is DNO. There are 3 zones in the red zone. So this is the red zone over here. We divide into 3 areas. So the offensive area is right in here, inside the baseline, between this point over here. The neutral area is on the baseline, and then the defensive area is behind the baseline. So DNO. So D behind the baseline, N on the baseline, and O inside the baseline. Right, the next concept is going to be percentage posts. So on the court, there are 4 percentage posts. Maybe 3 feet from the baseline, from the sideline, and 3 feet from the baseline. Right, there are 4 of them on the court. What we use the percentage posts for is when we're in the defensive area or the neutral area. So we're from here all the way back, and we want to rally inside these percentage posts. Right, we want to eliminate any misses wide. There are 4 places you can miss in the net: wide, wide, and long. Right, so if you're hitting the topspin, you should eliminate the net. If you're hitting inside the percentage post, you should eliminate the 2 misses to the side. So you only miss long. So statistically, you can cut out 75% of your errors, or 3/4. Alright, let's go into the next one. The percentage line. So percentage line is safety margin. We take the percentage posts and we join them. So this percentage line is going to go 3 feet parallel to the sideline on either side. What we use that for is an emotional anchor. So when we approach down the line, we're going to put our racket on that line and hit it along this line over here. It's a predetermined target. Also, when you come to the net, you want to eliminate the amount of angle you give your opponent. So if you're coming down the line, they can only pass pretty much in that area. Alright, actually even less over here. Right. Now if you come in over here and they're passing, now they've got to cover the net there, and you've got a lot more distance to cover to the right. Getting back to the percentage line, when you approach, percentage post, you want to approach at the percentage post when you go cross court. Same idea, you want to eliminate the angle you give your opponent. Alright, the next one. It's good volleying position. When you get to the net, we want you to get to good volleying position. That is 10.5 feet, so it's halfway between the service line and the net, exactly halfway. Now when you get to the net, you always want to follow the ball. So if the ball's hit here, I want to get to here. If the ball's hit here, I want to get to here. Right, so but you want to get to that mid position over there. Then you're going to tell yourself drive or lob. If it's a lob, you're going to take 3 steps back. If it's a drive, you're going to take 2 steps to your left or 2 steps to your right, depending. Right, the next one, short ball range. This is the amount of steps it takes to get to GVP, good volleying position. So, what we do is, this is the center of the circle. Over here, this is the radius, this is the radius. The best approach shot, contrary to what you may have heard elsewhere, is to actually go cross court versus down the line. Right? The reason people say go down the line is because it's easier to get to, good volleying position. But if we reverse that question, back up, which is a more difficult pass? If you go down the line, your opponent has to go cross court, versus you go cross court, now they have to change direction down the line. Now this is the more difficult passing shot for your opponent. They got to calculate more, they got to take into account the angle of reflection off your racket. The ball comes in like this, it's going to want to deflect that way. Alright, they've got to take the nets a little bit higher, court shorter, and so forth. So, in order to go cross court, we take the center of the circle and we draw a radius. Draw these lines all along here, like spokes in a wheel. Anywhere on that line, it's the same distance to the center. Again, because that's your radius here. So, when I want to go cross court, I've got to be closer to the middle, so you can see over here, and closer to the center. So this one, if I'm back in here, I'll only get to here. So then I have to go down the line, right? So in this instance, I can now get to the same position as I would as if I was approaching down the line. Alright, so that's the more difficult one for people to get, but just remember, you want to be closer to the middle, closer to the center, and closer to the net in order to approach cross court. And your goal is you want to get to good volleying position by the time your opponent strikes the ball. Move on here. Next concept is hold the line. Right, when the ball is low and you're at the net, you don't want to change direction of that ball, you want to send it back to where it came from. So the ball's down your feet, it comes in down the line, you hit it back down the line. The ball comes in cross court, low at your feet, you go back cross court. Because when you take a low volley and hit to the open court, you give your opponent the opening. So they come in here, hit low cross court, you go ahead, you can't stick it, you have to take pace off the shot. You have to hit the ball up at a higher trajectory, the ball bounce high. Now you got to shift here, so now you give them opening here, but also your body momentum is taking you in this direction, so they can also pass you down the line. So, when the ball's hit low, hold the line. Go deep up, deep back to where it came from. So over here, it looks like a bit of a mess, but here's a summary of everything. So first one, number one, red, yellow, green. Red, yellow, green. Okay, so red is wait, yellow is proceed with caution, and green is go. 2. We have DNO over here. D, defensive, N, neutral, O, offensive. D behind the baseline, N on the baseline, O inside the baseline. Third one, we have your percentage posts. Right, they're 3 feet from the baseline and 3 feet from the sideline on all 4 corners. Then we have number 4, we have percentage line over here. Oops, percentage line. And that runs parallel to the sideline and it connects the percentage posts. And we want to use that when we approach down the line. It's an emotional anchor. Then we get good volleying position. You want to get to good volleying position when you hit the approach shot, which is halfway between the net and the service line. Then number 6 is short ball range. That's the amount of steps is to get to good volleying position. You want to, when the ball is short and closer to the middle, then you want to go cross court. But your short ball range, your short ball range is really determine the distance from good volleying position, so you know the position you can approach from. And lastly, hold the line. Number 7 is when the ball's hit low, you don't want to change direction. You want to go back to where it came from when you're at the net volley. Alright, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a visual demonstration of the 7 concepts. The next few videos will explain in more detail on how to use the 7 concepts and apply it to your game.